Hello guys, selamat datang kembali di channel Petras. Jadi hari ini mari kita lanjutkan series Ace Combat 7 kita. Sudah sampai ke misi kedua. Let's go.
As of 1 p.m. today, the Kingdom of Erusia has
Oke,
declared
kita tonton
war on
dulu.
the Osean Federation. As soon as the news broke out, enemy aircraft began bombing Osean territory, causing widespread destruction. The Air Defense Force has released a statement saying this violent attack was carried out by drones. They speculate the drones were secretly transported to Osea in shipping containers and launched remotely. The Secretary of the Navy has stated that the enemy was targeting naval ports across the country. According to the Secretary, all of the nation's aircraft carriers, including one still under construction, sustained severe damage in the attacks. We have yet to hear back from the department as to the fate of Osean carriers currently at sea. Hold on, I've just received breaking news. The International Space Elevator, which is being built in southern Erusia, has been seized by the Erusian army. Reports say former President Harling was touring the site at the time, but his current whereabouts are unknown. Our sources in government tell us it was Harling's policies regarding the space elevator that caused economic frictions in the area, and which ultimately led to this war. Located near Erusia, on the continent of Erusia, the space elevator has been under construction for some time now. The Executive Office of the Osean Federation has declared a national state of emergency. They have ordered all its armed forces, including Erusian peacekeepers, to mobilize and make the necessary preparations to launch an immediate counterattack. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is officially at war. Stay tuned for further updates.
Breaking news from ENN. Osea launched an attack on the capital today, striking Farbanti from their aircraft carrier, the Kestrel II. After a brutal battle, the Erusian Air Force successfully repelled them. During the air raid, the Osean Air Force fired missiles at the city and managed to shoot down a number of Erusian fighters. Some of the disabled planes then crashed into residential areas.
The world was screwed. 20 years ago, the Earth got slammed by an asteroid. Erusia was on the wrong side of the planet and got hit. Hard. Refugees swarmed the Erusian Republic, the biggest country on the continent, plunging it into chaos. They were desperate and started a war, one they had no hope of winning. That's the war my dad fought and died in. The biggest nations from two continents went head-to-head, and the so-called righteous Oseans struck the deal that ended it. They fancied themselves the only nation that could bring peace and stability to the world. They even tried saving the Erusians, still suffering from the disaster. That's how a space elevator, stretching way up into the sky, ended up being built in Erusia, paid for by the Oseans. President Harling said he did it out of compassion for his fellow humans. But to the folks in Erusia, it looked like Osea was moving in to take over. Erusia went from being a republic back to being a kingdom. When they started this new war, they managed to get the drop on everyone. The second the declaration hit the news, Erusian forces took control of the space elevator without spilling a single drop of blood. President Harling was touring the elevator when it happened and disappeared. Then, while that was going on, the Erusian ships that were docked all around Osea released a swarm of drone fighters they had hidden on board in containers. No one thought they were capable of doing what they did that day. With pinpoint accuracy, they managed to take out everything that was military, and not a single civilian was hurt in the process. Osea pissed lots of people off with their huge military presence around the world. Erusia didn't have the same reach, but they could hit their targets faster and cleaner. And when all this was going down, I just so happened to be in my flying drag racer. In case you were wondering, yeah, I survived. I crashed in a bombed-out Osean Air Force base, then got arrested for breaking wartime aviation laws or some crap. The world went from being at peace to being at war, all in the blink of an eye.
Princess Rosa consent release of the Kingdom of Erusia.
I was tried, found guilty, and stuffed into a cargo ship. For company, I had some court-martialed soldiers. And remember those mothballed planes I told you about before? They were loaded on the ship too. We headed off down south for several days, and then swung east. That's how I got here. I was thousands of kilometers from Erusia, on the opposite side of the Yuzian continent. For a port, it was dull as hell. It had 3 rusty patrol boats, and the base? The fences were topped with razor wire, the tower had a searchlight and machine guns, and a truck with a gun turret was parked in front of the gate. Its gun was aimed at the yard. This was a prison. This place looked like a full-on base, but half the tanker trucks were just big balloons, and the runways weren't even paved, just painted on the dirt. The whole place was just one big fat lie. The only reason I was here is because they knew I'd restored a supersonic plane. They wanted me to make something out of the mothballed planes they brought, that they could park on the fake runway. Can you believe that shit? So, I tried to escape. They found out, and set the dogs on me.
Oke, misi kedua, charge the enemy. Jadi intinya kedua negara sudah saling menyatakan perang ya. So kita briefing.
Erusia has made a declaration to the
Dan
Ocean
cewek yang
Federation
tadi
and all countries on the Yuzian continent
masih hidup
stationing the IUN
dan di
peacekeeping
penjara
force that we are now at war.
karena dikira
Right after the
melanggar
declaration
batas
was made, surprise
mungkin
attacks
ya.
began around the
Nggak
continent
tahu
that
juga sih.
inflicted major damage to our armed forces. Forces aligned with Erusia are currently
Terus
appearing throughout
dimasukin
Yuzian.
ke base yang
The combination of
palsu
these forces has overwhelmed
istilahnya
the
untuk
majority of the
mengelabui
continent,
musuh.
and they are
Jadi
now
tadi
approaching us in the east.
isinya apa?
Additionally,
Truk tapi dari
the multinational
balon
space elevator
atau
has been seized by the
apa?
Erusian military.
Landasan yang hanya dicat.
After the previous war,
Cuma
the
untuk
space
mengelabui.
elevator became both a symbol of peace and a valuable asset in the fight against growing
Dan sekarang
energy
kita di sini
concerns.
masih sebagai trigger.
Whoever has control of it will have enormous influence over the entire continent. We cannot turn a blind eye to this critical situation. The Fort Gray's Air Base Squadron has been entered into the order of battle to reclaim the elevator as
Oke,
an
tugas
advanced
kita adalah
element.
mereclaim space
First,
elevator
we will
lagi.
attack all hostiles coming in the east of Schofield Plateau to
Oh,
stop
tapi tugas
any
pertama ke
interference from
sini
the
dulu.
Allied ground
Oke.
troops. The enemy has deployed several vehicles equipped with anti-air radar along the roads. You are to destroy them. They should not pose much of a threat. However, there is a high likelihood that the attack will draw more enemy air support. If that happens, fight them off swiftly and establish air superiority.
Oke, let's go. Kebanyakan target ground ya. Kita mau pakai apa? Sukhoi 33 kayaknya. Oke, jadi kita akan pakai Sukhoi, pesawat dari Rusia. Iya. Oke, let's go. Ya HVA aja. Air to air. Terus skinnya mage. Kita lihat skinnya. Alright, let's go.
Mage Squadron, sortie, ASAP.
Operation Eastern Wine. Langsung saja, let's go.
Current target is on rails, but there's still military vehicles and anti-air weaponry. Destroy the target. but HQ has made it clear that no harm should come to civilians and no damages to be done to public facilities.
But, any aircraft shot down could land in civilian territory.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days.
Do you have visual on the anti-air radar vehicles? They should be close.
Yep.
Intercept! Fire the AA! Flee our vehicle out of there!
It's popping off now, Trigger. War has officially begun.
Ini termasuk salah satu pesawat favoritku, guys. Ya, kenceng, tahan itu juga, dan juga amunisinya banyak. Anjir, apa habis ya? Oke. Tapi emang nih pesawat gede banget sih.
Target destroyed. 3 to go. Continue to engage at your
Tapi
discretion.
kenceng.
Enemy interceptors inbound. Prepare to engage in 30
Ini
seconds.
loh. Nah, oke.
Here they come. Take them down. Okay, recruits. Pay attention to who's on what side. The newest IFF is connected to our entire
Kok
force
masih
via
kena
satellite.
ya ampun. Sorry guys, kena
So
guys.
trust your radars.
2 targets
Boom
remaining.
boom.
That radar was just about to go online.
Udah tinggal satu target, kita kejar dulu yang lainnya.
Allied territory.
Trigger, there's one more to go. The clouds don't
Cier
just affect your field of
kena
vision.
misil.
They also mess with your HUD and radar.
But it's okay, masih
Deceivers can
22%.
sometimes lose their lock onto their targets too.
Golem 1, enemy will crash in a residential area.
Just worry about staying alive for now.
Locked.
I'm in his blind spot. He's mine. How the hell was the enemy able to hit it so accurately? I didn't have a flush. Turn the enemy aircraft away from the main.
Launching missile.
I've got you now. Firing. Let us go forward. Enemy missile detected. I'm taking fire, but I can fly.
Wait, you want us to take down the enemy without damaging any public facilities? That's gonna be a circus.
Salah senjata gitu. Anjir.
Mage 2, they have a lock on you.
Getting out of rock. Breaking.
Alright, clean up that last radar vehicle. There's nothing in your way now.
Apa salah senjata sih? Oke,
Target in range of guns.
tinggal 2. Target terakhir.
Mage 2, target destroyed.
Cus. Boom.
That was the last radar vehicle. Great work.
Oh, to see the Erusian space sail.
Continue with the
Enak
mission.
guys, kenceng jadinya.
Crush as many as you can.
Padahal ini belum, ini belum yang lain, maksudnya ya masih ada Sukhoi 57 itu juga enak, Sukhoi 47, Sukhoi 35, 37.
Launch manually. Renew the setup.
Apaan tuh?
Write your manuals in a language.
Itu siapa ya? Nuklir kah?
Launch preparations complete. Bolts are free. Whenever you're ready. Stand clear 15 meters. UAVs ready to launch. Away.
Oke, ada yang melancarkan UAV.
What happened? Status report.
Multiple bogeys on radar. They're close.
Wait, they're being launched.
You're cleared to engage. They're probably hostile.
Judging by the way they look and move,
Bentuk
they gotta be drones.
pembentuk formasi gitu.
Spotted, Cloud. No doubt about it, we're dealing with UAVs. But that doesn't change a thing. Just think of them as somewhat clever
Lama
decoys.
banget ini
Take them all down.
misilnya.
These drones have great agility. All aircraft. You know what high G turns are, right? Use them. HQ, this is Golem 1. Bandits confirmed as UAVs.
Anjir,
Repeat,
mata
bandits
mau
are
habis.
drones.
Golem 1, that doesn't matter. Destroy all enemy fighters and get out.
It Doesn't matter.
Anjir,
He's saying the war could change in an instant. Get over it.
habis
Yeah,
lama-lama.
I just wish they'd give us a bit more warning.
Enemy UAV
Ini
confirmed
loh yang
destroyed. Hell yeah.
kalau lah.
Golem Squadron, you're not gonna let Mage get
Anjir,
all the
mana
glory, are ya?
diawan ya?
3 enemies to go.
Golem Squadron, surround them.
Bangsat. Ini banget, kencah banget anjir. Jadi susah.
Keep your eyes open in those clouds.
Mana sembunyi di awan kan tuh. Bisa belok-belok anjir. Makan tuh.
The enemy knows a few moves, but that's
Boom.
about it. Just chase them
Bagus.
down and pull the trigger.
Oke, sisa 2.
I'm buying dinner for anyone who takes down an enemy.
There's a bar I want to try.
You're doing good. You're just 2 more. Golem 2, the enemy's reading you.
One to go. Let's get through this without any casualties.
They won't show up on the radar.
This is the last one.
I maneuver behind the enemy.
Anjir. Please,
Mage
kena.
2, walking.
Oke. Anjir. Bisa gitu loh. Anjir, mana di awan.
Crap. The aircraft is acting up. I'm getting a warning.
Get out of the clouds, the ice will melt.
Fox 2! Fox 2!
Kayak gitu dong, men.
Trigger, don't let them give you a run around. Take them down one at a time.
So, drones don't feel the
Anjir,
G
miss
force,
terus
huh?
loh. Kurang ajar. Bangsat.
Nice kill, Trigger. Enemy aircraft confirmed down.
The skies
Paling
are
nyebelin
clear.
kalau udah
Nice
masuk
work,
awan.
everyone. Mission
Bangsat.
complete. RTB.
No casualties. We couldn't have done any better. Returning to base.
Oke.
I don't know. Maybe the bandits we took down caused civilian casualties.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days.
You shoot, someone gets killed.
Tuh guys, ada tulisan-tulisan pakai huruf Rusia. Ya emang dari Rusia ini pesawat. Oke, selesai misi kedua. Thank you buat yang udah nonton. Nanti kita lanjutin lagi untuk misi-misi selanjutnya. So, jangan lupa klik like, subscribe, dan tulis di komen buat saran-saran, saran game boleh, kritik saran untuk videonya, dan segala macam. Tulis aja di komen, oke? So, see you again. Bye.
Now is the time to group up and begin the counteroffensive. Let us reclaim what is ours.